Well, Nur Choudhury is the chairman of international charity Human Aid and Advocacy, and he joins me now live from here in London. Nur, thank you very much indeed for your time. Israel says this latest attack on the aid convoy was accidental. They say it was a mistaken identity and an accident. Palestinians obviously think otherwise, but certainly the numbers of aid workers who've been killed in Gaza makes for grim reading.
Definitely. I think one of the key things that we have to remember is that there is a starvation taking place right now in Gaza. And one of the mechanisms to starve out the civilian population in Gaza is also by intimidating the NGOs and the aid workers. And we're seeing this by the targeting right now of those 7 aid workers from the World, the kitchen. And what we're seeing is this is not the first time. The numbers are over 200 that have been killed in terms of aid workers. And even ourselves as a charity, we've had our delivery team on the ground who are Palestinian. 18 of them have been killed since October the 7th from Israeli bombardment. And we are no strangers to the Israeli aggression itself. Even myself was upon the Mavi Marmara back in 2010, again, full with humanitarians, when, again, it was onboarded by the Israelis, attacked, and 10 Turkish civilians were also killed.
Yeah, the World Health Organization says it's going to continue in Gaza under extreme danger, but many other organizations have suspended their operations as they assess the security situation. I mean, how damaging is that going to be for Palestinians in the territory?
Again, it's extremely damaging because we're seeing a population starving. We're seeing children who have gone from being nourished to become malnourished, skin and bones. And we're seeing that because, again, the aid has been suspended, prevented from getting into Gaza. And by the attacking of aid workers, a deliberate attempt and attack, again, this is only to create fear and prevent aid workers from wanting to go into Gaza. And again, the halting of these operations is only another tool used in the starvation techniques used by the Israelis, which is a war crime. And what we're seeing, again, as an organization based in the UK, is the UK complicity in enabling this genocide to take place. When you've had 3 British citizens who were among those 7 who were killed, you're seeing no action really being taken by the UK government, who still continue to have a 7 billion trade deal with Israel and arms deal as well. And so that becomes really important, that we should be demanding sanctions upon Israel, the ending of all sort of trades, and alongside with that, an arms embargo must be placed. Because again, UK weapons, alongside that of other Western nations, could very much be used by Israel in this ongoing genocide in Gaza.
And lawyers are certainly looking at that at the moment, Nur, in relation to that ICJ ruling. When it comes to the British government, there have been strong words from Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, and his Foreign Minister. And yesterday, they summoned the Israeli ambassador, which may sound like it doesn't carry weight, but it is a very unusual move. So it seems like the UK are taking it quite seriously. I suppose the criticism might be that that these 7 workers having been killed may well shift the dial more internationally than the tens of thousands of Palestinians who've been killed.
And that is unfortunate that we're seeing that is it taking the killing of 3 British nationals, US Canadian, as well as Australian nationals, to actually have some movement. We've got over 32,000 Palestinians who have died. And like I mentioned before, 18 of our own aid workers on the ground who are Palestinians have died. But again, none of this has made any sort of difference. Now, the key thing that we're seeing is that recently in the UK, you had the reports coming out of legal advice that was provided to the UK government in order to say that Israel is actually breaking international law, yet the UK have refused to take any sort of action. So now we're seeing some steps, but now is the real time that enough is enough. Really, how many more people need to be killed and targeted? Right now, it's more clearer than ever that sanctions and arms embargo is required. A total withdrawal of the Israeli occupation force from Gaza is required in order for us to see a long-lasting change in Gaza.
Nur, good to talk to you today. We appreciate you coming on the programme. Nur Choudhury there joining us live from London.